How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to Tapping Off Farm. Today I'm back in the market garden, continuing the work and establishing our micro berry farm. Today I'm working on plot 7, which is going to be our Saskatoon plot. Saskatoon is probably known to some of you who are watching, especially from Canadian viewers. For those of you watching from the UK, you may not have heard of Saskatoon. It's something that we've been aware of for quite some time with our interest in food forestry and forest gardening. We've been searching through many books over the years looking for various different fruiting trees and shrubs that would suit our climate, and Saskatoon, fingers crossed, is one of those. It originates from the Canadian prairies, can tolerate low temperatures right down to -40. It produces berries very early in the year. The other name for it is June berry. It flowers very early and produces a berry at the start of the summer. That could be its downfall for us because of the early flowering time. We might still be getting some quite harsh frosts when it's flowering, but we've purposely bought some cultivars that flower just that little bit later. This one in particular is called Honeywood that we're planting along with another variety called Smoky. I think in the wild, Saskatoon can grow very large. It's a small tree, large shrub, could grow up to around 3 meters tall. But our plan is to try and keep it quite low, and I know commercially they're planted quite intensively, about 1 meter to 1.5 meters between each shrub, and they're often planted as hedgerows or purposely kept clipped quite small. We haven't got many examples here in the UK, although funnily enough we've met some good people about an hour away, and they have one of the largest Saskatoon farms that we know of in the UK. We're still being incredibly small scale. We're only planting in this plot about 14 shrubs, but we do have another 20 or so shrubs planted around the farm in our various food forests. So today I've been here trying to work out our planting plan. This plot that we're making up as part of our small berry farm is only about 14 plants going in, so it's not much, but it's just enough to have in a concentrated area where we really can keep an eye on it, really review it and check on how it's going as a crop compared to the ones that we're putting in as interplantings or understories in some of our food forests in some of the more wilder areas of the farm. These guys are going to be here with all the other crops, the currants, the gooseberries, the brambles, the raspberries, all growing in an area that we can kind of keep an eye on, slightly working with in a more traditional berry market farming kind of sense, albeit still planted in our food forest design. So today I'm going with 3 rows, offsetting the rows, so we don't need to get any machinery in. For picking, we can just wade in and find the berries. I'm going to go and get the BCS and our tiller just to break up the ground, just to make it easier to plant these. Also, I want to just give them a really good start. There is a bit of compaction in this plot from having our chickens on there a little bit too long a wee while ago, so I want to break it up, make sure that the roots can really establish. From other plants that I've seen growing, they really have done better going into looser ground. So that's why we're going to use the tiller today, and then that'll be it. We won't have to disturb the soil ever again. These have got a very long lifespan. They could be productive for over 20 years. So we want to get them into the ground and off to a good start. Once they're planted, we're going to give them a really good mulch, repair any damage that we've done through the tillage, and that should be it really. We shouldn't have to do anything more, not really even too much pruning over the years. It's more just a case of managing the size, making sure that enough light is getting to all the plants, enough airflow, and that they've not gone a bit too huge and unable to pick them. Great, that's the Saskatoon all in. 14 plants planted around 2.5 meters apart. This is quite a wide spacing. Like I said, commercially they seem to be planted between 1 to 1.5 meters apart. Considering we just had a small amount of plants, we thought we'll give them a bit more space just so they can bush up a bit. And this spacing also means we can interplant. We're thinking about maybe putting some comfrey in. This is something that we use a lot around the farm to feed to livestock or to feed the soil. So planting comfrey can access minerals from the soil, make that available to the soil food web when we cut it and drop it as a mulch. So I'll be really interested to see how these grow for us. Like I said, we have had Saskatoon berries off of plants that we put in to food forests around the farm a few years ago. I'm just excited to see how we can treat this as a crop in our whole microberry farm system. Alright folks, I hope that was interesting for you to watch. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. See ya.